morning or afternoon. I am Ryan, and this is Michigan Storm Chasers. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We have back-to-back days of severe weather concerns here in the state of Michigan. Let's go ahead and dive in. Before I dive in, though, shout out to today's sponsor. It is above my head there. It is Shield Public Adjusters across the state of Michigan. If you have insurance adjusting needs, feel free to give Shield a call at 517-249-5720. And as always, thank you to Shield for sponsoring today's video and being our spotlight sponsor on YouTube. Let's go ahead and go over the severe weather threat here. So, SPC has a marginal risk of severe weather in place across the central and eastern part of the UP, as well as far extreme north and west lower Michigan. They do not have a higher risk close to us at this point in time, so it's the lowest risk you can get. Level 1 out of a scale of 5, with 5 being the worst, 1 being the lowest. We're at the low end of things. Hazards for today: damaging winds is going to be your primary concern. Large hail would be a concern for perhaps the central, south central part of the UP. No risk from the SPC for anything tornadic today in the state. We do have a 2% across the pond over in Wisconsin, Illinois. As of right now, 11:18 a.m., there is no risk for anything tornadic in the state of Michigan. Going into the future radar here, we do see pop-up showers and storms moving into the UP around 4 or 5 p.m. today, so about 5 hours from now. We could have some storms going on there in the UP. Those may contain damaging winds, perhaps a large hailstone there, but I do think wind is going to be the primary concern today. As we move into the later evening hours, 7 p.m. here is 8 p.m., we see some of these storms try to brush up here in the northwest part of the state here, closer to that 7-8 p.m. time frame. Moving towards sunset, 8-9 p.m. here. Here's 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and finally midnight as we have additional rain and storms moving into the state. I do think the threat for severe weather is back here, centered primarily across the UP up here, but wouldn't be shocked we have 1 or 2 storms try to cross it. I think that's a very well placed risk today from the SPC here. I agree with it a lot. Overall, between about 4 p.m. and we're going to say about 9 p.m. is going to be the peak timing for anything severe-wise in terms of gusty winds. As we move into the overnight hours, go hour by hour here. Here's 5 p.m. on the model, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11, midnight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Here's sunrise. Here is 9 a.m. Here's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, Wednesday. Here's noon. Here's 1 o'clock. And then here's 2 o'clock. We get to tomorrow afternoon, we could have additional pop-up showers and storms that may be strong and perhaps severe. And as such, the SPC also has a marginal risk out for Wednesday afternoon for South and East Michigan. Places like Detroit, Lansing, Kalamazoo, Ann Arbor, Flint, and Port Huron all fall within that risk for severe weather. The only risk tomorrow, damaging winds, as well as potential for some larger hail. There is currently nothing tornadic-wise, risk-wise in the state. It should be primarily a wind and hail event. So back-to-back days here of severe potential. Tomorrow, for today, about 4 p.m. to about 9 p.m. your main time frame. For tomorrow, Wednesday, as early as 1 p.m. and that risk will continue through about the late afternoon, early evening time frame as those showers and storms push out of the state. Here's 4 p.m. and by 5 p.m. we are left with just some scattered showers here, and the worst of the stuff is moving off into the Canada area. So a little bit earlier of a day tomorrow, a bit later tonight. All right. Otherwise, today, outside of the storm potential, we do have potential to be quite hot and humid today. Looking at the temperatures, high temperatures today across the state, check that out. Mid to upper 80s across pretty much the entire state. There's going to be portions of the UP on the west side that are going to struggle to get out of the 50s into the 60s. But otherwise, we're going to be in the 80s for the majority of us here. The heat index with the humidity makes it a little bit more unbearable in some spots, probably close to 90. Wouldn't be shocked to see a 90-degree reading today in Michigan, but we do have a lot of wildfire smoke out there that could also hinder surface heating just a tad bit. So I think we're going to be kept down a few degrees because of that smoke, but otherwise I do think potential does exist for upper 80s and perhaps even a low 90 reading across a few areas in the lower peninsula today. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of humid as well. Looking at the precipitation, the dew points, if I can figure this out, there it is. The dew points today are going to be right around 60, which is going to make for a little more of a muggy condition out there. So if you are sensitive between the wildfire smoke that's out there and the muggy and hot temperatures, it may be a good idea for you to stay indoors today and run your AC and just enjoy the nice cool air indoors. So with that said, I'll be back on here tomorrow morning for an update on tomorrow's severe risk. Otherwise, expect us to go live in the event of severe weather here in the state of Michigan today. Joel and Drew have you guys covered on stream. With that said, you guys enjoy the first hot day of the year. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.